Over the past couple of decades, there have been many memorable characters in many different games. From some that even your grandpa would likely recognize, like Mario, to, I don't know, Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, there are some characters that you just know. Today's video, however, will not be focusing on one of those guys. Instead, I'll be presenting you with a complete psychological analysis of by far one of the best written characters in the history of writing, even making Shakespeare look like a rookie, to be frank. The character I'll be talking about is Tatsu from Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, who is Tatsu? Tatsu is a small Nopon who wears glasses, the Nopon being a trademark species to be found in Xenoblade Chronicles. I don't think they're in any of the non-Chronicles Xeno games, but I've never played Saga or Gears, so take this with a grain of salt, please. He is one of the first companions to join your party in Xenoblade X. Standard RPG stuff, you know. What makes him special, however, isn't his role, his appearance, or the value he provides from a gameplay perspective, but rather from the worth he brings to the narrative. The plot of Xenoblade X revolves around a giant spaceship crash landing on the distant planet Mira, with humanity scrambling to survive while being hunted down by your generic alien tribes. Most of humanity is still stuck in the living things of the ruins of said spaceship. The few remaining ones, however, built a city to defend themselves. What makes Tatsu shine is the writing and his character and personality. Immediately, his very existence makes you question your own morals, as your party instantly jumps to the conclusion of him being a potato and wanting to eat him alive. On one hand, we have the humans scrambling to survive on a distant planet far away from their loved ones, desperately scrambling for anything that could keep them alive. On the other hand, we have Tatsu, an innocent ball of fluff, versus our protagonists that are in a bit of a pickle, having to fight aliens and alien-looking dinosaur things alike in order to survive, with this tasty, fluffy potato-looking gremlin in front of them. The temptation logically overcomes them pretty quickly, but somehow the prey manages to convince the hunters to let it stay, which is an obvious reference to the game Undertale, where you spare the monsters instead of fighting them, just that Tatsu isn't a monster. So yeah, Tatsu spared them because he's too mighty and he didn't want to crush these monsters to make himself the villain, because he's not the villain for sure, right? Anyways, later on, we get to see more of Tatsu's bravery as he escapes from the confines of the city to deliver some food, charging fearlessly into enemy territory, knowing full well he will be spotted. This selfless act of heroism is truly one of a kind and remarkable, with Tatsu escaping scot-free yet again, since our heroes, who have still not overcome their primal urges and desires to eat giant fluffy alien potatoes, charge in to our hero's aid, freeing him from danger and once again proving that he's the real main character. Like, obviously, but you know, and that the protagonist is only a side dish to the main meal, a plot device to establish and complete Tatsu's character arc. Just kidding. A character as deep and as well written as Tatsu doesn't need anyone to go through a character arc. In short, Tatsu proves that no matter how weak and edible someone might look, you shouldn't ever underestimate them. Because as it turns out, even a potato can be not just a hero, but the real main character of the story, hidden deep within the complicated and convoluted and carefully crafted literary magnum opus that is the story of Xenoblade Chronicles X. Thanks for watching. I am never doing something like this again. You hear me, games? I am never doing something like this again.